to the class, welcome back to our class, Managing Culture. This is the fourth week. We're talking about interacting with multicultural teams. Next week, we're going to be talking about tips for success with China, Guangxi, Art of War, etc. I understand today we have extra visiting professors, Yi Dayong and Yi Chang-hyun. Perhaps you guys will be able to present some details today. I'm just going through to make sure Yi Chang-hyun has, where is Yi Chang-hyun? Has access. Here we are. So you both have access to share things at any time. In addition to that, this is the folder that all of you should be aware of. You can go through and review this stuff at any time. These are our teaching materials. This is what I will be teaching. And there's extra support material for each week. So this week we have this Managing Culture, and the core PPT is right here. Managing Culture class, week 4. This is the PPT. This is an extra PPT. And so what I'm showing is students can present some of this extra information that has been prepared. Here is another article. It's a research article talking about diversity in management for competitive advantage. And then there's extra folders that you can see for extra activities. This is a related course and many extra articles related to the topic. So when we're going through and teaching details, you can see all of that at any time. Again, today we are talking about the idea of managing multicultural teams. And we've already gone through a basic presentation talking about what is a domestic firm versus what is a multi-domestic firm versus what is a multinational firm and a global firm. We've talked about the idea of how you manage these things, how people are thinking inside versus outside. And no matter what you're doing, there is a similarity. When you try to interact with anyone, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your boss, or your staff, you should always be trying to think, what do they want? What do they need? And just focus on those things, since other people focus on only what they care about. Most people forget that. So domestic firms only care about what's inside, and multi-domestic firms are trying to do things their way in other areas. But you should be trying to think of both all the time. What you may know and what you may like, it's nice, but possibly customers or people that pay you don't care. So you must know what the people outside know and like and care about, and try to work in a mutually beneficial way. We talked about how Google definitely cares about diversity and tries to promote diversity. We talked about Samsung tries to promote it, and we went through and we actually talked about some examples before about how Samsung has diversity management teams, and Samsung has a chief diversity officer, like a CEO. However, we still identified there are ways to continuously improve. With that said, I would like to point out this. So who can see what I'm showing on the screen right now? I'm going to ask Minkyu, can you tell me what you see on the screen right now?
No, I don't see anything. Your screen.
Oh, thank you. That's one thing that I definitely have to fix then. Let's try again. Oh my gosh, guys, I've been trying to teach something for the last 5 minutes and you guys haven't seen it. Please speak up. Oh my gosh. So what I was doing is I was showing, let's see, can you see my Excel file now? This is the Excel file about our class, the outline. You can see that now? Yes, no?
Yes,
great.
Yes.
And what I talked about is in week 4, we were talking about this, and there are these links to some files. But in addition to those links, we also have links to many other things. Here are many related articles: managing diversity for organizational efficiency, team management, diversity, performance issue. These are reliable articles you could use for your research project or present in class. I have hundreds, thousands of these, but I don't have time to present a lot. This is the core weekly material, and this is the core weekly PPT that I teach. But there's an extra PPT for reference if you want. And there's an extra reliable article that you can present if you want. And then there's these folders of many other things and activities. And so overall, our class, Managing Culture, week 1, all information's here. Week 2, all information's here. You can go through and access and see that through this class folder of materials. So this week, I was just going through this PPT, which is talking about managing multicultural teams. And I was talking about this, how there's domestic firms, multi-domestic firms, multinational firms, and global firms. And overall, we were saying it's best, don't just think inside, but think inside what you want and think outside what other customers or clients or your boss or partners, what they want, and work in a mutually beneficial way. Otherwise, you will not be as successful as possible. And we talked about how Google realizes that, and they control most of the information in the world. And that's why they're focused so much on it. Then we went through and we identified how Samsung is aware that it's important to have diversity, and they're trying to make diversity management teams, but it's very new. And so they have appointed a chief diversity officer, Jin Kim, but this is in New York, in North America, and the idea of diversity is still slowly filtering through Samsung. There's always things to do to improve. So my question now, again, is Min-kyu, can you read what's on the screen now?
Course experience survey.
Yes. So what do you think this is? Can you start reading the beginning?
Students own and manage this class. Is your class. Be proud. Students are responsible for operations. The professor has been hired and paid by students to help do the job for students. Despite the university not paying financial support, the professor personally hired teaching assistants and research assistants to help you students do the job you desire as bosses. Consider how you have class evolutions, teaching methods, and class activities.
Great. So, 고맙습니다, 사장님. You guys are the boss. I'm working for you. You're paying my salary. So this is your class. I want to know, are you doing a good job? Can I do anything better to be perfect so you have a perfect class because you make this class? Through slow year after year, students make suggestions to administration, and because of that, we have created this class. But this is a relatively new class. So because it's new, I am jumping on you, the boss, to make sure this is exactly what you want. And we still have a little bit of time, not much, to make modifications. Usually the modifications were supposed to be done in the first 2 weeks. So I want all of you to just think about this, and the TAs, there are 2 TAs, there's TA Hua and TA Chi or Ina. She's going to go through and answer these. So the next person I have is Lee Chang-hyun. Can you read question number 1?
This class was well organized and this lecture came well prepared for class.
What do you think? Do I get a 1? Are you disagreeing with that, or are we getting a 5? Do you agree with this?
Probably 5.
Probably. Remember, this is your class. You should be proud of your details. Everyone here. This is not the survey. Okay, so I'm not giving you the survey right now. I'm giving you the survey to design. And after we design it, then you go through and answer all the questions. So let me go through, and I think I can share this link to everybody. So now I've just texted you in the chat box. This is the link to this. It would be good if you make a copy of this file, and then you can fill it out and send it back to us if you want to make changes. Otherwise, the TAs will modify it for you and then give it to you in a Google online survey. So are there any questions from students? Do you want to change question number 1, or that's a basic, pretty good question? Going once, going twice. Lee Changhyun,
Yeah.
you're happy with the question? We don't need to make changes?
Actually, there are like 30 kind of questions, so I didn't read all of it.
We're going to go through the questions together. And yes, there are about 34 questions, and it could be up to 35 if you are proactive. So I want everybody just to go through and understand how we're managing cultural diversity. In Korea, I guess you never have a Korean teacher in elementary school asking you if they're doing a good job teaching. They just start teaching, and the teacher says whatever they want, and the students have to say yes sir, no sir. Well, that is the Korean style. I am teaching the international management, global style, so I'm making sure what I think you want matches what I'm trying to do for you. And so this is not the actual test yet. It's not the actual survey yet. I am going to read all of these with you students just to make sure you understand the questions and ask if you want to change questions, if you want to change the evaluation, and then we'll go on. So next, Kim Chaehan, can you read question number 2?
Class was conducted in consideration of the degree of students' understanding of the class.
Okay, and your evaluation, 1 to 5?
3.
3. Okay, so what are some ways we can improve? What is an example of something that would get a 6? What everybody should be looking for is to get 6s, but we don't even have 6. I don't want just perfect. For me to do my job, you should be perfectly happy with your class. If you just say nothing and I decide, that is the Korean way. It's not a managing global manner. So I'm asking everyone what you feel, because I don't know what you feel. I can guess, and I've made this. So if you say it's a 3, what could be better? Anything. Crazy ideas are okay.
First, first, I'm not good at speaking English, so it is hard to understand. So yes, because of that, and professors speaking is a little best. So could you speak more slow, please?
Absolutely. Yes, I can speak slower, but I can do more than that. You know that I also video this class, and you can see this video in YouTube. We have a class YouTube channel, and we can see the YouTube link in the CTL system. So if you don't understand, you can open the CTL and play it, but you can play it at half speed or double speed. Maybe Moon Tae-kyun, he finds I'm boring, so he can actually put the YouTube channel on at extra fast so he doesn't have to waste his time and go party on Friday night. Other people can slow the thing down, or you can rewind the class topic.
Wait,
so does that help?
Sometimes I need to listen slowly, sir.
Okay, good. You can rewind it if you want, or if you're in love with me, I'm in love with you. You can rewind it and keep watching over and over again if you want. Does that make sense? The person that's managing question number 2, is that good enough? I can slow things down, but I videoed things just in case you want to check again. Do you really want me to speak a lot of Korean in class? I think if I speak Korean in class, we will lose points because it's supposed to be an English class. If I speak too slow, that's not the real international style, so I may lose points also. Do you really want me to slow down how I speak? If you listen carefully, you should notice that I'm not speaking like I do in Canada. When I'm in Canada or USA, I speak differently. If you listen carefully, you can tell a difference. You, Uno, can you tell
Yes.
how I speak differently now than I might speak if I'm in Canada?
Can you speak the way that you speak in Canada or US?
Ah, sure, of course.
Well,
Anything you want me to say, I can say that stuff.
so that see the
Of course, eh? Whatever you want me to say, I can say it. If we're back in Canada, anything's possible. Do you see the difference now? When I'm speaking to you, every word is like a finger. So I say the word and there's a little bit in between the word. And I say another word and there's a little bit of a break. And I say another word and there's a break. But in Canada, everything's all together. And I use slang, other words like a. So now I'm not speaking super slow. I'm speaking a little bit slow, but every word is separated so you can hear it distinctly. So I have made some modifications to the class and I've created videos for the class. I think if I do any more to change it, it might be lower quality. So can we check? Is it still worth only 3? Who did we just ask that to? Let's go back to Minkyu. I forget which student I asked that to.
It was Kim Chae-hyun.
Okay, so should we change that, or do you agree the way that we're conducting the class is good so far? And go ahead, Lee Chang-hyun. Do you think something needs to change with number 2?
Nope, sir.
Okay. Next, what about Cho Sabin? Can you read number 3?
Read number 3.
Yes.
This class was conducted in foreign languages, and foreign language textbook was used.
Right. You do know that there is a textbook that I use in here sometimes. The textbook is linked. I've already scanned it, so you don't need to buy a new one, but you should buy this new one. This has several different examples to help you learn about managing globally. So that's one idea. What would you say is your answer for that? You disagree, agree?
Sorry.
Can you answer your question? And after she answers, Moon Taekyun, you pick your next classmate to answer number 4 and pick the next classmate to do number 5. Because there's many questions, 35 questions. So you can send text or a chat to the students to get them to prepare while we're waiting for Cho Sebin to answer number 3. So Cho Sebin, please answer number 3. Quickly, please. The class is waiting for you.
Yes.
My job as president is to make sure the class is effective and efficient. You need to go faster, boss. Just say any number from 1 to 5 and we can move on.
4.
Okay. Later, you need to send a text to the teaching team with ideas how to improve.
Yes.
Next, number 4. Who's next, Mr. Moon?
Me.
Okay.
Yep. Effective exercise. Do I have?
Yes, read that.
Okay. Effective exercises. Discussions were provided around example and cases. 5. Of course,
Okay,
5.
great. So for example, this week, we talk about several different things. And just to show you, make sure everybody remembers what we're talking about. This is the PPT. We've gone through, we've talked about Google ideas. We've talked about how Samsung needs to still make changes. So there are some details here. And inside the course, there's many different folders for each week. And inside each week, there's many different articles I don't talk about, but I want you to talk about. So I want some of the students to share articles each week and talk about them. So I have started and found articles, like here is an article. And ideally, how else, Mr. Moon, can or should you get extra points each week?
Sometimes I can get some extra points, but sometimes I can't get extra points anything.
Okay, how can you get points? How can you get the easiest 2 extra points each week?
Keep talking, or keep talking on specific question answers, or show them specific example and cases.
Such as, what is the best case to get a full 2 points? Just talking, you can get half a point or 1 point. The easiest way to get 2 points each week.
Find the examples.
Yeah, find not just any example, but find a reliable example, a reliable article.
Like a kind of Scopus.
Exactly.
Site.
And so why? You, Uno, do you know why I promote how you should find a Scopus article?
Because it is proved by experts.
Yes, it's proved by expert. Good. And what about Int'l Mgmt again? What is another point? So you can get points for it. You know it's made by experts. It's checked by expert. But what else? What about you? I'm working. I don't really care about the other experts. I care about how I can make Mr. Moon, Mr. Yu, Mr. Im, you a specialist.
So many fake news.
Good. Yes. And so you need to be aware this is not fake. If it's a Scopus, it's real, it's reliable. Good. What about Mr. Sung Junso? What is another reason why you should share an article each week? I actually design, you don't have to, but I design the class. And if you know the rules, the class gets easier to get higher score. What is the biggest part of the class? Where do you get most marks for the class? It's the term project, right? And when you do the term project, what do you have to put into the term project? The only real requirement. You must have 10 reliable articles. And we have 10 weeks together, 10 core weeks. So generally, each week, if you find one article, that's 10 weeks that you can put into your paper and you get the points. So as you find something, show it to the class, ask, do you think this is good? Or do you know anything else like this? Or I found this really interesting. That's where you get 2 extra points. So you don't have to talk every week. But if you do find an article and you do share it with the class, that will help your term project because it makes you more of a specialist. It's making your background literature section. And you get bonus points just for doing it well. So hopefully that helps with the idea of effective exercises and discussions. I don't force you to do it, but I bribe you. Is that ethical? Do I get you said a 5. Is there any way I can improve that, Mr. Moon?
Probes what?
The idea of how can I make you guys more, how can I get exercises to get you to talk more? How can I get discussions to get you to talk more? What are some activities that could be better for your development?
I haven't know any specific answers about that.
But you do understand how I give many examples just in our class folder. You can use those. If you use those, you can get points for them. If they're Scopus, you can get details. And you can also show videos, TED Talks, MOOCs online. Good. Who's Mr. Moon? Who's the next person to read number 5?
Oh, read number 5. Kim Sung-hoon, student.
Okay.
It's me, sir. It's me.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. What should I do?
Read number 5. Yes.
A variety of learning activities were provided to induce participation and cooperation. I should answer the question, right?
Oh, yeah, you don't really need to answer it because I will send you this later and you can answer. But for right now, you're the manager, you're the boss. You should yell at me and say, this is a stupid question. This is an idea to make it better. So how can we make this better so that you get perfect on your class operation? What we're doing now is trying to think of ways to get everything perfect for the operation of your class.
Wait a second.
And Mr. Moon, you have somebody for number 6 ready? Who should be doing number 6?
Number 6. Sung Jian, student.
Okay, so after number 5 is finished, we're still waiting for number 5. Mr. Kim, you want to comment on number 5? And who did you just say, Mr. Moon, for number 6?
I said, Mr. Song Jian, student.
Good, that one's next, but we're still waiting for number for Mr. Kim.
Okay.
Kim Sung-hoon.
Well, it is so unexpected for me, so I need some time to think about that problem.
Is that acceptable? You are the boss. You've already invested. I'm already working. The money's already getting spent. You should have been thinking before you come to work, before you hire me, before you sign up. So just guess anything. We can modify details anytime you want. I will make adaptations anytime and ask Lee Chang-hyun. He calls me and wakes me up in the morning on Sunday mornings talking for a couple hours. So you can contact me anytime to make changes. But right now, just say any idea, crazy ideas. How about let's have drinking games?
Oh, that's really perfect, sir.
Yeah.
Drinking games.
So let's try next Friday. We all show up and we don't drink during class, but I'm going to have beer bottles next to me, beside me. And towards the end, we can start drinking together. See who falls down first.
That's lovely. Then students will more talk and more getting up friendly.
But if it's during class, I might get fired.
Oh yeah, probably. Not probably, must.
So number 6, who's reading this? Mr. Song, is that what you said?
Yes, sir. Song Jian, student.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 6, professor sincerely responded to students' questions. Well, they just totally agreed.
Is there any way we can make things better? How could we change?
Well, I don't think we need to change this.
Okay, maybe you don't think we need to, but the question is, what is a possibility? For example, I could do the Harry Potter thing and buy everybody an owl and tape some sort of notes to the leg of the owl and fly them back and forth. Or we could meet in my office, even though it's dangerous with coronavirus. We could get everybody to meet in classrooms. Does anybody want to actually meet in classrooms for me to show you the textbook or go over your research project over your shoulder?
Well, I think it's better for us to have a consultation time for our assignment with you in person.
Perfect idea. So make sure, Ina, you're listening. You should make a sign-up form. So everyone in the class should sign up to show the consultation, show the project you're going to do. You should be emailing me your project so I can check it and give you some feedback. Perfect idea. And by the way, wasn't that the homework I gave you last class? Didn't I tell everybody you're supposed to email me that exact thing? So we already did that. Good. Who's number 7?
Do I have to pick?
Sure. You or Mr. Moon, both of you can go through and start making sure we go through this quickly. Song Ji-hyun and Moon Tae-kyun, both of you, just pick anybody so we can go through this very quickly.
Okay. Song Jun-se student.
Great. And who's going to be number 8? Song Jun, we're waiting for you to read number 7. I'm getting older. I'm going to be dead soon. Hurry up. Time flies when you get old. 사장님, 빨리 주세요.
Song Jun-se student.
Maybe they're not actually attending class. Maybe they just opened Zoom and walked away. So you need to pick another student that is actually attending class.
Oh, he opened his mic, so he will speak.
I started.
We've been waiting for you for 5 minutes. Yes, hurry up. I'm getting dead.
Purpose 8 feedback on running activities and assignments was provided.
So the question is, does the teaching team give you good feedback on these activities? We just finished saying everyone should do the assignment and email it to me, show me what you have now, and I will give you feedback. That's what the homework was last class. So that's just one example. Do you think that is good? Anything to change?
No.
So it's perfect. Number
Yes.
5. Okay, and who is number 8?
I'm gonna choose with Lee Da-young student.
Standards and methods of grade evaluation were presented objectively and reasonably.
Okay, and we're waiting for you to evaluate it or comment about it.
How can I say?
Well, do you know how you're going to get marks for your final evaluation?
I have to make the term project.
Yes, like this. In week 6 for some students or week 7 for other students, you need to show an abstract, 5 points. Introduction, 5 points. Background literature, 5 points. Answer these questions. For example, what are other writers saying? Include a statement from the original founding author or popular authors. For the methods, talk about what exactly you tried to do. For the results, you can say what you found. So these are what we will be grading and what is expected to see in week 7 or 6. But because this is the most popular form of business management report, but it's not the only style. There are other styles. If you want to try presenting a different style, you can, but you need to talk to me and negotiate the other style before week 7. You could see that PPT I just showed you?
Yes, I can.
Do you agree that the standards of evaluation are reasonable?
Yes, I agree.
Great. You want to pick who's going to read number 9? We have 35 questions to go through, so we have to go fast. Pick the next student fast.
John Heading.
Great.
The professor thoroughly managed class attendance makeup class. I think yes.
You liar! I'm giving points away for free so far. In the first week, many students didn't talk. Some students didn't turn the video on. So I don't know that you attended and I still gave points. But I'm not gonna, should I continue that way? Is that a good management? Should I give points to anybody, even if they don't show their video or they don't talk? What do you think? Should I be more strict?
A little bit, but now it's kind of okay.
At the beginning, it's okay, yes. And each week it gets harder and harder. So right now, I will give you the 1 point each week or half a point every class just to show up and open your video so I can see your face sometime during the class. Doesn't have to be all class. All class for 75 minutes is most respectful and it's very polite, but you need to show it at least 10, 15 minutes and I'll give you the attendance, just if you have the video on. Or do like Lee Chang-hyun. Lee Chang-hyun, he doesn't show his video. Maybe he's afraid I'm going to fall in love with him too much, but he talks in class sometimes and he sends a lot of text messages and stuff or in the Facebook groups. So when he does that, he gets some points. Is that reasonable? Talk in class and you get the point, or show your face with the video in class and you get the point. Is that the best way to manage for you?
For now, I think.
For now. Okay. Number 10. Who's number 10?
I'm gonna read it.
Professor.
Yep.
Are we going to deal with all of the questions today?
Until students actually speak up and start managing. Remember, Fridays is your day. I'm not supposed to talk. Friday, you are supposed to manage. Some students are supposed to present. But if you don't, I will. Are you ready to present?
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
Professor.
I think I've already given you co-host activity. About 2:55, you were able to show your screen. We're waiting for you, but I haven't seen your active yet.
Oh, so shall I start now?
You're asking a difficult question. Let me be clear. If you don't talk, since you pay me, I will keep talking. I don't want to talk. It's better if you talk, you get better results. But if I hear things are quiet, I will keep talking. So yes, you can cut me off and share your screen anytime. Every student here, you are boss. But until you do, we're going to keep talking with me. So
okay, I'll start.
But you haven't yet. Share your screen. As soon as you do, people will see that. There we go.
Okay. Yes. So me and Ida Young made this PPT And the reason why we selected this subject is because the previous class, you, Professor Sean, said about the Samsung chef about the multicultural thing. So yeah, I was quite impressed about it. So I'm trying to tell you guys about interacting with multicultural teams based on Koreans. Yeah.
I will start. Last class, Professor talked about managing multicultural team. We could know about many advantages in multicultural team, but I wondered why most Korean companies do not implement multicultural teams despite of many advantages. We searched about Korean background. Also, we searched about Korean background. Our table of contents: first, Korean's background; second, solution. First, we were forced to study as a deaf.
Forced?
First.
Did I force you? Do it or die!
Sorry. People who graduated in Korea, do you remember your high school English class? I only remember myself highlighting in English sentences where teacher said and just memorizing the whole textbook just to reduce time at Suneung during the third grade class. Korean English classes are organized to get good grades in Suneung rather than improving students' English communication skills. As you can see, our education progress about English is a mess, and we can't say we are learning English just memorizing English. As a result, most Koreans are afraid of talking in English, but ironically, we can read or listen, which is a strange situation. As you can see from the graph, there are not that many foreigners living in Korea compared to USA or other countries. For example, the US foreign-born population reached a record 44.8 million in 2019, and immigrants today account for 13.7% of the US population. And I guess including unidentified immigrants, ratio will increase a lot. So we have less chances to experience other culture at offline.
So we also searched the typical company landscape of Koreans who grew up in this environment. Korean companies have many events to promote the unity of companies, such as FESIC and sports events. The reason why they emphasize unity is that the Korean company system is carried out in a team play format. And as you can see in the picture in Korean style structure, it is hard to communicate with coworkers and just do what the superior says compared to Western companies.
I like that photo. It looks like you have a photo of me. I didn't know you took that.
Talking about the advantages we can take is that various viewpoints promote deeper product and market knowledge, and a multitude of backgrounds and experiences supports culturally sensitive customer service issues. 2015 McKinsey report found that those in the top 25% of ethnic and racial diversity in management were 35% more likely to have financial returns above their industry average. In another study published in Economic Geography, the authors concluded that increased cultural diversity increases innovations. And businesses run by culturally diverse leadership teams were found more likely to develop new products than those with homogeneous leadership. And in order to increase our English communication skills, we need an educational evolution, such as making subjects like speaking and listening as Suneung, or maintain English class with foreigners until high school. Lastly, we have to customize our management style. It means we have to ask employees for input and feedback, encourage our idea exchanges. Treat people as individuals rather than your thoughts on cultural group as a whole. So if we want to change this terrible environment, we have to change our stereotype first. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Good job. Hopefully you guys can hear me clapping. I want to start by saying awesome presentation, Sajangnim. Awesome presentation, bosses. What was it? President Lee, and who was the other president that just gave the presentation? Was it two Lees? Lee Dae-yong and Lee Chang-hyun?
Yeah, two
so,
Lees.
Good job. Is there anything I could do to help you with this? Number one. Question number two is, since we have 30 other presidents, many students here, what are ideas from other presidents about that presentation? So what is your peer evaluation? It's the very first one. So me as president, I encourage everyone to be very, very generous. You can give him 20 marks out of 20 marks. So 20 out of 20 is the best. So that is possible, but it should be reasonable. I suggest you should be very, very generous because he went first. And I had to push hard to get them to go first. I made them go. Other people are hiding from presenting, and they're hoping to present maybe in week 12 or week 13 later. So we should be generous. But no matter how generous we are, how can we do better? Dong-young. I don't think you presented, but do you have an idea?
How to good at presentation?
You are responsible for the class. You need to evaluate how the class was operated. So what is your evaluation here? Number one. Question number two is, what could change? So you have to give a score out of 20. Quickly, I'm getting old. So you guys can see this, right? So we're waiting for Lee Dong-young to give some sort of points out of 20. And other students too. Just yell out how many points you want to give them.
I want to give them 20 points.
20 out of 20. Okay.
Yes.
What are ideas from other students? Any other student, just yell out your ideas. And at the same time, Lee Dong-young, please tell 3 ideas that could change. It doesn't have to be great ideas. They could be crazy ideas, like next time you present in a pink skirt, or next time do it when you're crazy drunk, or next time do it when you're only on the beach. What are 3 ideas you suggest?
First thing is talk slow down.
Okay. Next.
I have to think about that.
Am I a bad president to say, you don't have time, you're going to get old before you know it? So just guess, say anything in class, and you will get practice and experience. Korean culture is famous for avoiding things that you don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain?
I think that, in my opinion, Korean society is, in Korean society, people just hate to something like reveal their ignorance, because it might give a bad impression, or some kind of the meaning from other people for the ignorance?
Okay, you're close. Thank you for hiring me. I have a lot of experience in the crazy PhD details. And so what you're talking about is partly correct, but partly wrong. So what you're saying is true. This Professor Gert Hofstede in Europe, he identified Korean culture has one of the highest uncertainty avoidance in the world. So you avoid anything that you could be uncertain about. You avoid anything that you could make a mistake. You avoid anything that you could be wrong. But what the last professor just said is, I think you said you're worried about other people will feel bad. Well, the problem is not other people. Most of the world is not Korean. Most of the world is non-Korean. Most of the world does not care if other people make mistakes. Most of the world will like somebody or hire somebody or follow somebody if they try. But in Korea, most people don't try, they avoid it. So you can see the screen. Give me the name of another country you think that is not avoiding uncertainty.
Maybe Japan or China.
Japan or China, where is uncertainty avoidance? So this says here, where is it here? With 85, South Korea is one of the most uncertainty avoiding countries in the world. Countries exhibiting this have strict codes of belief, behavior, and they don't tolerate crazy behavior or new behavior, different things. It says also that you have a lot of rules for work and time is money, etc. So let's go back up. And as you identified, let's pick another country. Which country do you think has a very different, did you say China?
Or Japan?
Japan is almost the same, very high uncertainty avoidance. I'm asking you, what is the opposite? So Korea is 85, Japan is even more afraid to make a mistake. I want to know what's the opposite.
Canada or the US is the opposite.
Let's see what Denmark says, and then let's try in here, United States. So uncertainty avoidance. The lowest one is Denmark. They're the opposite. They're comfortable with anyone making mistakes because they can learn from it and they can talk openly. They're not afraid of making a mistake in front of the president. Even United States is twice as strict as Denmark. But Korea and Japan are the world's most extreme. Think about what happens with that. Most people don't start your own business in Korea because you're afraid to try something new. And that is a huge problem. So the government has been investing billions of dollars to try to convince you young students that you should try, because the old-fashioned Korean culture was showing you don't try new things. So that's just one part of your culture. I think I'm taking way too much time. So I'm teaching the class about managing multicultural details at the same time as we go through this survey. So can you pick who's the next person to read number, I think we're on 11.
Me?
Sure.
Lee Da-young?
Okay. Lee Da-young, are you here? Maybe we're not. Is there somebody else that's going to read it?
Okay, it was helpful in improving problem solving and application skills.
So is the class helping you solve problems? Is it helping you manage?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Are you lying to me? Are you already drunk drinking the beer on the Friday already?
No. It was helpful.
Do you have any comments about this? I just showed you this. Now I want you to tell me, where was that? How can you find that? Because that website I just showed you about uncertainty avoidance, that helps you manage culture. As long as you know the other culture styles and characteristics, you can interact with them better. So can you tell me, Lee Dae-young, or anybody in class, I'll give you 1 point if you just tell me who made that last website I just showed, or what is the Google search you need to use, or what actually is the website address. Anybody want bonus points? I'll give you
So
this one up here. I just showed it to you. If you're watching, you see it. Ready? One more time.
The country comparison.
Good. So, Mr. Moon, you just got another bonus point. And
Oh,
all you need to
great.
do is go to Google and do a Google search for Hofstede, this name, comma, country comparison, comma, then type in any country in the world, and it will show you. So what is another country you want to compare before we go? I think this is a great, for a Friday night when you're supposed to be drunk, some people like to go get drunk and do, I don't know, kissing games or something. Well, I'm an old man academic. I like to learn even when I'm getting drunk. So let's learn about some other country. We are focused this week on managing multicultural teams. So who do you think is your twin? What country do you think is this almost the same as South Korea? We already showed Denmark is the opposite. What is the same as Korea? We showed Japan is close. Maybe I can show that again. What is one other country do you think is the twin?
Singapore, I think.
Singapore. So let's see here. Purple, green, it's similar. Purple, green here, very different with individualism. Purple, green, very, very different here. It's similar here, similar here, similar. So let's change from this. And you want to put Singapore? You think you're close to Singapore? Let's try
Yes,
that.
I think, yeah.
Now the shock, you ready for a shock? I used to live here before I came to Korea. Which one is closest to Korean culture? Oops, I didn't show. Yeah, Korea is orange. Looks like purple, orange, purple, orange, purple, orange, purple, orange. Most of them, do you realize that your twin, your big brother, big sister, or little brother, little sister that's the exact same as you actually is El Salvador? Anybody know where is El Salvador?
Yeah, I know where it is. It's located in South America.
Yes, just south of Mexico, right next to Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador. That culture, that country, and Venezuela also. Let's see, Singapore now. Singapore is green and orange. Green and orange, a little bit different. It's close here. It's a little bit close here. Wow, orange and green. So uncertainty avoidance. In Korea, Korean people avoid any mistakes. But in Singapore, they'll try anything. So Singaporean people are very open-minded to trying new things. Korean people are afraid. You're going to pee your pants, poop your pants, trying something new. So before you go work for a company, try it with me. Try it in class. Make as many mistakes as possible.
Yeah.
Sorry for my crazy language. Pee your pants in front of the class or poop your pants in front of the class so that you don't do it when you work for Samsung, or you don't do it when you work in a company, okay? Practice here. I will pay you marks. Is that clear to everyone?
Well,
Oh, well about it. Just do it. I'm the president. But you're the boss. 알겠습니다. sagdim. What do you want to say?
no, I mean why Korean avoidance is so extreme hard is like, for example, it's like company. They don't want to take the risk, anything, kind of like that.
In the old days, correct, but not today.
Okay.
Today, they realize that the Samsung Hyundai SK, they already grew as big as they can get. They can't really change Korea anymore. The only way your country, Korea, can change anymore is if you get many new small startups. So they need you new people to start new companies. You need to copy Singaporean style people. Let's check another one. So we have that. Let's change Denmark to, I think Venezuela is similar too. Venezuela. So we have Korea is So orange and green. Orange, green, it's a little bit different. It's kind of close, a little bit different. So Venezuela and El Salvador are similar, but generally El Salvador is almost the closest. Singapore is almost the opposite with some things. So try new things. That's the lesson I'm trying to teach here. Next one, I will read it and then somebody else get ready to read. Any volunteer, go for number 13. So number 12, my ability to communicate my thoughts and understand others improved. Well, I am talking a lot, so my ability is improving, but I can't understand others that much unless you try peeing your pants more. Try more, talk more, volunteer more. If you have a fear of talking, that's okay. Say anything, you could get points. But if you don't want to talk, like Lee Chang-hyun, you are like a class leader, but he gets points for sending lots of chats or sending lots of Facebook messages or taking the PPTs of people and sharing that with the teaching team. You can send text messages and that will help others communicate. But it's best to verbally communicate. Do I care myself? A little bit, because I like to develop you. But the world cares. Why? Because it's not easy to get a job after you graduate anymore. The only easy way to get a job is if you talk a lot, if you promote yourself a lot, if you're a social media star, or you have many connections, or your dad is Jeff Bezos. So practice talking lots, practice connecting. When you do your term paper, you have to do your term paper. Interview the companies you want to work for. Start making connections now. Start with a very simple survey. And when you start talking to them, you will develop a relationship with them and maybe you can help them and then they can offer you a job. Don't apply for new jobs. That's not smart. It's not efficient. Do you guys understand what I'm about to say? The most efficient way to get a job in a good company is to make your own job there. How can you do it? Make your term paper that the company will want. Make a term paper that the company manager will like. While you're making the term paper, if you survey the manager and ask questions, then when you're finished the term paper, you can give that to him. Last semester, students did that with my friends in Samsung, and the Samsung people offered internships, and the Samsung people offered almost $1 million donation to the students' projects. The students didn't get a job. They made it simply by interviewing and contacting those workers. I'm talking too much again. Lee Chang-hyun and Moon Tae-kyun, you're supposed to tell me when to shut up. And who's next? Who's number 13?
I will read it.
Great.
This course clearly explained, and I accept that materials will be recorded and posted publicly in YouTube and CTL.
Right. Hopefully, many of you already
Totally
saw
agree.
our videos, so you agree. Great.
Yes, definitely, 100%.
Okay. Before some of these are going to get into the work details. Before we get off of communicating, I did most of the communicating here. I want to hear, we had Lee Chang-hyun present. You're supposed to keep presenting. And Lee Da-young, you're supposed to keep presenting. It's the whole class. You are the president. So can we get the rest of the students to evaluate more for them? What are some more comments we have for the other students? So Lee Dong-yeon gave 20 out of 20, and they said talk slower. Moon Tae-kyun, what would a mark you give?
I would give 20 as well. It's
20?
well prepared, well organized.
Great. Can you pick the next student that's going to talk about question number 14? Who's the next student to read 14?
Oyun. Who?
Okay. Did you hear that? Oh, you know?
Me?
Yes. Before you start, can you just read this one? What would you give out of 20 for the student presentation?
Maybe 18.
Okay. Now, can you give 3 crazy ideas to consider?
So have more something like details.
Good. References. Can you see what I'm typing on the screen?
Yes.
Every student should have more references, more details. Show where you got your information. Teach something new. Every time you do something, if you just say it, it's just your opinion, and many people don't care. If you show world experts said this, people will care. But after you say that, you need to show the truth, show the reference. In that last PPT, we didn't have reference. We will give them 20 out of 20 anyway, because they were first, they get bonus. But in week 10, week 11, week 12, the last students to present, you have to give proper references. Okay. And students that present in week 7, you should be trying to give proper references. Scopus is the best. Great idea. So, can you keep reading number 14 here?
Attendance points. This course clearly explains that students need to be shown visibly in a significant time within class, or verbally talk for a significant amount of time, or post significant details to a class social media page to obtain attendance and participation points. Normally, 0.4, 0.5 points per classes are available, 1 point per each week.
Okay. Do you think this is good, wise? You agree, disagree? Is it clearly explained?
Yes.
Okay. So number 5, do you, this is a little bit random. I'm giving 0.5 points per class available, and it's saying for just any significant amount of time or significant amount of time for the video, significant amount of time talking or significant amount of time typing or significant amount of time being in the video. Right now in the video, I see Moon Tae-gun, so you're going to get maximum, points for that. You also get points. Im Min-kyu, yes. So Jun So and Jun Herin. There's a few students that are making the videos, but several students are not having the videos on. So those students, it's going to be harder for them to get the points. So Kim Eunbin, do you accept this? That if you don't talk very much and if you don't have your video on, you skip that 0.5 point today? Chun Sayun, Jung Yu-won, Kwan Jun-ha, Kim Jisoo, Jong Ik-park, Kim Kyuri, Son Jimin, Lee Jang-kyun. Do you guys all agree?
Yes.
So you agree. Great. If you don't talk very much, if you talk more, you can get points. If you show us yourself, you can get more. Good. Would you like to, Jong Park, would you like to read number 15?
Assignment 1, 20%. This course is clearly explained that students need to present them and manage the details of one of the topic covered throughout the term to get up to 20 points. Students get ready the peer evaluates points and comments for improvement from their classmates.
Great. So do you agree? Or well, it looks like some people's already editing this. Good. Whoever's Pink Llama in class, I can see Pink Llama is going through question 16. Thank you, Pink Llama, whoever you are. What is your evaluation of this? Should we change anything?
Yes.
You're managing with old people culture, you're managing with young people culture, you're managing with Canadian culture, your Korean culture, your Vietnamese culture. There's many different cultures. That's our topic for the week. How can we make this assignment number 1 better? How can we make it more clear? For example, I created assignment 1 thinking that several students should be trying to present in week 2, and then the same students try to present again in week 3, because in week 2 they can get some marks, but in week 3 maybe they can get more marks to get closer to 100. Do you really think we should give Lee Chang-hyun and Lee Da-young perfect 100% for the presentation today, or should we give them maybe 17 or 18 and require them to get bonus points and present again next week and the next week and the next week? What do you think is best?
I think the later is the best.
Haha. So if we go over here, what kind of points would you give?
Pardon?
What points would you give out of 20?
15.
So 15. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Lee Da-young?
No. more 3 points. 18.
18?
Yes.
So 18 out of 20, okay? And you know you can upgrade it by talking more. Don't forget, you finished your presentation. How can you get more points today, Lee Chang-hyun? Any student, if you do your weekly topic, you show a PPT, here is a PPT, here is another PPT. How can you get more points? You take these details, you take this PDF and open it in class and talk about it. Or you can go in here and there's many PPTs. You can open these and talk about these and get points. Today, again, is the week 4, Managing Culture week 4. Everyone has access here. You can go in here. There's several different details. Here's one. Anybody want to present one of these papers? Lee Chang-hyun, you could get more points, but Im Min-kyu, you are not the presenter today, but if you talk about it, you could get 2 extra points. Same thing, Kim Sung-hoon and all of you, Lee Da-young, you could get extra points talking about this, right?
Yes. So how many points are we getting, Professor?
If you talk about a reliable article, you get 2 extra points.
So can I share the link of the McKinsey?
Who's talking now? Lee Chang-hyun, yes.
Yeah.
You already can share. Actually,
No,
you have asked that type of question 3 times today. Can you share? Can you present? But you are the boss, right?
No. I mean, how many points are we getting from the presentation with Lee Da-young?
Whatever the last comment we got was 18 out of 20. In general, we will be very generous at the beginning. If you want to present this other article, it would almost guarantee you get 20 points. That's just based off of the last student, not the average yet. Understand?
Oh, okay.
So I encourage you, try to present it. Lee Da-young, I can see you there. Is it hard to talk at Tom and Tom's? Is it okay for you to talk and present this at Tom and Tom's? You can use a microphone.
Yes, I can.
Great. So go ahead. What are you waiting for? It's on the screen. We're showing it. How about I give you a little bit of time? You know where you can find this article, both of you. You can check it, try to find what you find interesting, and then anytime you're ready, interrupt me, start presenting before our class time is finished. I think the class time is almost finished. Let's go back to go through this quickly. The assignment number 2, same assignment. PPT is worth 30 marks, but the assignment 2 paper is worth 40 marks. They're the same project, but you're presenting your draft. You can make a lot of crazy mistakes here so that this gets perfect. And you should also reference this probably. Maybe get an editor or get somebody to help check or do a peer evaluation. You get your marks, you get your paper, share with your classmate. You check the classmate paper, your classmate checks your paper. That would help you get perfect marks here. Next, this course clearly explained that students can get up to 2 bonus points each week for contributing to class development. Ideally, a student shares a reliable research article or a TED Talk or a MOOC video or some type of video to get good points. Asking good questions or discussing details in class can give you half a point or maybe 1 point weekly. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go through some of these quickly because we're almost out of time. Next, what do you think? The teaching staff are extremely good at explaining things. Kim Jae-kyung or Kim Un-bin. Can you read these comments?
Share your screen.
I can't see anything.
You can't. I'll share my screen again. There you go. Now you can hopefully see it. Do you think the teaching team are extremely good at explaining things? Quickly, classes, I believe, finished. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Yes.
Okay, yes, good. Can you read the next question? This question here.
The teaching staff normally give me helpful feedback on how I'm going in this course.
Great. Kim Jisoo, can you read this one?
The teaching staff in this course motivate me to do my best work.
Okay, do you agree?
Yeah.
How? How do I motivate you? Do you realize that this is what I love? This picture I'm showing on my screen, this is what I want all my students to think about every day. When you're at school, most students only focus on doing a paper for the professor. But screw me, forget your professor. Focus on developing a paper so you learn about it. Focus on developing the paper so you become a specialist. But don't just focus on your textbooks. Textbooks are terrible. They're out of date. There's a billion people on the internet writing better things than any book ever made. So we should be working online and make your paper for a local company, right? How many of you want $1 million? I could give you $1 million value. Anybody interested? I don't see too many hands up. No hands up. Do you think I'm joking? Any idea?
I'm interested.
Okay. So what? What are you going to do about it? Start talking more about it. I have already told you about this. For example, start contacting the company you want to work for. Now, last semester, we did that. Students made their paper presented it in week 6, and then they started talking to the company executive in week 7, and then they went and they visited the company in week 8, and the company executives helped make that paper, and they told them, if you make these changes, the company will give you 500 Samsung devices. And if each device is like ibegmanon, that's $1 million value. And those students, they walked away. They didn't take it. So it's still there if you want it. Those executives of Samsung still want to keep helping you. All you need to do is be proactive. Understand, Moon Tae-kyun, you are the most proactive in class.
Yes.
So you should be at the front of the list, the front of the line. If you want this $1 million 500 Samsung devices, that is waiting for anybody to step up. So the question is, am I motivating you? Doesn't that motivate you?
Of course, you're motivating lots of students. You just say, just keep going and talking about your opinions, any specific ideas.
What
You
about the
always-
grants? What is the grant idea? That's even
grant
more.
idea.
I have to talk faster because Im Min Gyun is falling asleep. How can you get more benefit from a grant? How should you be motivated by a grant? Any of you? Why do we care about a grant? Why should you care about a grant?
It makes money.
It will pay you to do the classwork. Yes. How much? The normal amount is at least ilok or samok is normal. So a company like Google or Ford, they pay samok for the university to pay you students to do your class research. So far, I'm shocked. Are you guys super rich? Why aren't you asking questions? Why didn't you apply yet? Moon Tae-kyun, you're an awesome student, but you haven't actually started a grant. Are you really rich? You don't care about money? What about you? Chun Hedin, is your dad Bill Gates? Are you super rich? Can you buy dinner tonight? Or are you normal? Do you want to get paid to do classwork? I can't hear you. Speak louder.
Pardon?
Do you want to get paid to do your classwork? Do you know that you can get paid to do classwork?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
for
sorry.
both. Okay, so the class is finished. I just want you to realize it is there. There's a lot of details there. The Korean style is to stay quiet and only do what I tell you to do. But I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to be kicking you. I'm just going to tell you about it, tell you about opportunities, and it's up to you. If you want the opportunity, you need to ask questions and do it and keep pushing me. You are the boss. I work for you. I'll just tell you how if you want. And don't forget, this whole presentation, this you already have, it teaches you those details. So next, the staff make real effort to understand difficulties I might be having with work. Hopefully you understand. I know it's hard, and maybe you're going to pee your pants or shit your pants, but try it because you can't get worse marks. You only get benefits trying here. And if you do make a crazy mistake, I promise, if the mistake is so big I laugh, I'll give you the 2 or 3, maybe 5 bonus points. So try here. Next, the staff put a lot of time into commenting on your work. That's one thing. The idea of overall, you're satisfied with the quality of the course. Kim, Jae-kyung, are you satisfied with the quality of this course?
Yes.
Just yes. Okay, and Yoon-seo, Kim Yoon-seo, do you
Yes,
think
sir.
the staff made a clear right from the start what I expect. So is it clear what you have to do in this class? You can
Probably yes.
Normally, yes. It looks like you were in a Yuchiwan or a kindergarten teaching kids from behind you, and that's good. You can keep doing that. Do that at the same time as you're in our class, but for the class marks, you realize that you get, where is it here? 40 marks for this, and 30 marks for this, and 20 marks for this, right? And another 10 marks for just talking in class, and 20 bonus marks for talking and showing more videos. So I hope that's clear. What else is next? It was always easy to know the standard of work expected. Do you know what I expect? Sungjin Jung, Jung Sungjin. Do you know the quality of work I expect? This is going to be a funny question because week 7 should be funny. Week 15, you might be wanting to pee your pants. Why? Explain that.
I don't know, sir.
Okay, pick your classmate to guess. Who's the best bullshitter to guess?
Bullshitter?
Anybody try to answer this question? Today, not tomorrow. I'm gonna be dead soon. I'm already more than 50 years old. Dali! 한국 사람 아니야?
It's not too easy.
Tropical country? Go ahead. John Hedian, I'm sorry I interrupted. What did you say?
It's not too easy.
It's not easy. Okay. Yeah. Moon Taekyun, can you explain why do I say the standard of work expected in week 7 is a joke? Standard of week expected in the weekly topics is a joke. I want you to laugh at it. But week 15, you should be peeing your pants. Can you explain? What am I saying?
I guess it's due to date of term project, I think, the paper.
The final term paper, what you work every week on, you should be finished by week 7. And then you have week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 to make it better. And I've already introduced you. You could hire people in Kenya or other countries to help edit it and fix it or research it. You can hire staff. It has to be your idea. You need to talk about it each week. That's best. So the final project should be good. So that you need to worry about. But when you show your first example any week, you can show anything. You can be drunk. The first person I see with a soju bottle or a whiskey bottle staggering and saying, here's my paper, I'll give you 5 points. Or
that's lovely.
When you show, like, since the class is finished, Lee Chang-hyun and Lee Da-young, what do you think you deserve for presenting today? You are the first ones presenting. What do you think you deserve today?
Definitely 20 points.
Okay, can you show, since you can still open your screen, can you show any article? Read a title, read anything quickly. I will give you 20 points because they're first. I will give you 22 points today if you show any Scopus article. That's it. So I'm going to be very generous at the beginning so you're not afraid to try. But every week, it will get harder and harder and harder. So in the last week, that's when you should have perfect. So, the standard of work experience, we're still waiting for Lee Chang-hyun and Lee Da-young. I don't know why you're not teaching. You're trying to get points.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, so should I share my screen or just read it?
I already answered that. Why are you asking the same question 4 times?
Okay, I'll just read it.
Share your screen. Yes, be the boss. You share the screen. The answer is yes. Anytime you want to present, just start sharing the screen or tell me what you want to share. Okay,
so can you see my screen?
Yes, something about McKinsey and diversity matters. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the article where I've got some ideas for my PPT, and yeah, this is about the diversity, and it says that about how we can facilitate the company or team by having a diverse culture, and I'll read one paragraph. Oh, wait for a second.
Okay, this is good. Is this the most reliable stuff you can get? Chun Hedin, is this most reliable? It was created by McKinsey. McKinsey is one of the world's most famous consulting companies. But do you trust companies 100%? Or do you know that companies usually promote what they want? I don't know why Lee Chang-hyun and Lee Dae-young stopped sharing, but if you don't want to share, I will share something. This is most reliable because this is a Scopus article. It's created by experts, which is just like McKinsey. McKinsey creates something expert, but McKinsey might only be promoting what they like. But in the journals, they have other experts that will check peer review. And if there's any mistakes, if anything is not reliable, it will not get published. So Scopus is most reliable. McKinsey and other companies are a little bit less reliable. Universities are less reliable. They only say good things. Even governments are less reliable. Like Donald Trump only says what he wants. So that's 1 point. So yes, I will give 20 out of 20 for Lee Chang-hyun for presenting a PPT today, and I'll give you 1 point for sharing the McKinsey. But if anybody talked about this, anybody in class, this is available to you. If anybody talked about this, that was worth 2 points. But you guys didn't talk about it. So that is the standard of work. I hope that's clear for everybody. The next idea is the staff seem interested in testing what you understand. I think you agree. I'm going over and over these details to make sure you understand. Don't be afraid to try. Practice in class. Understanding culture is important. You found your studies stimulating. This is what I care about a lot. Moon Tae-kyun, you are the popular student. You are leading the class the most. Do you find this intellectually stimulating?
I found my studies intellectually stimulating. Probably.
Okay, why? How? What is stimulating your brain? Is it this website comparing countries where you can go through and identify Korea compared to other places?
Yeah.
Or like this is intellectually stimulating? Or is it this idea of, where is it here? Showing articles, which is absolute truth about how diversity helps? What is most stimulating to you?
Yes. Stimulating the articles one.
Showing the article. So you should be showing those articles. What about next? Have you learned how to apply details from this class to a new situation? Hint, 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 hint. Hint, 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 hint. Hint, 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 hint.
Yes.
Good. I learned to explore ideas confidently with other people.
Yes.
You do realize that I have classes in Hong Kong, almost the same time zone as us. Those classes in Hong Kong want to talk to you guys as soon as you're ready. Soon as you students start to talk more in class, we can have our class together with international classes in Hong Kong as soon as you're ready. So whenever you're confident enough, we can share with other people. I have professors at Samsung that will talk with you. I have professors in Denmark that are the opposite culture that will talk to you. Week 4, that's this week. That's what we're doing right now, right? Our early feedback for this course, hopefully you find it useful and help you improve your learning ability. So Lee Chang-hyun, you
Yes,
were the
Professor.
main presenter. Do you believe this review of our class experience survey helps you?
Yeah, definitely.
You know exactly what you need to do to be
Yes.
successful?
Yeah, of course.
What about this one?
Actually, we didn't experience the Big 7 yet.
That's not important. This didn't say you had to. This is saying the PPT you give in week 7 provides you with a valuable learning experience. It has been created and it is providing you with this learning experience.
Yeah,
What am
I think so.
What am I talking about? This idea, you want to do your dream. To get to there, you have to start being at that level. You need to start being a specialist. So start pretending to be a specialist in class. Use your idea to interact or interview your employer now. Don't wait in a job line. Take your class project and interview them now. Take photos of them now. Take your class project and start helping give ideas or solution to the local company now. If you do that, don't talk to them yet. Don't go talk to the local company yet. Why? Sorry, because some of us, like me, maybe I'm an idiot or I'm stupid. I don't know about the company yet. So start practicing in class. Find these examples in class. Find your McKinsey report in class. Learn what the company might like. After you know what the company might like, present it to us for practice. Pee your pants, shit your pants in front of us, and then you will be more comfortable presenting it to them in week 8. So that's what I'm talking about. Week 7 will give you practical, real world learning experience. Understand?
Yep.
And the very last thing is just come up with 3 different ideas how to improve, how to make things better. Anyway, I am sorry I'm doing my job well. Some people don't like it when I go past the class time. I hope you guys understand, since you hire me to work for you, I'm working as much as you want. So is there any questions about this material that we've talked about so far today?
I think it's very clear for me today.
Okay, class is finished, folks. So feel free to sign out, log out anytime you want, hang up on me, go start drinking, or if anybody has beer, show me and we can start drinking together.
Oh, that's lovely, sir.
Anybody want to talk about any specific topic? Anything I can help you with?
Actually, like, this is just one of my curious thinking, and why aren't people using Skype rather than Zoom? Because the Skype is original.
But Skype doesn't allow you to share your screen or record things or have a whiteboard and interact as much as this one. Have you guys actually seen all of these other optional details we have?
Yeah, but I've also used Skype, but they also can share screen or record their videos.
But you don't have like a whiteboard, and it's not as well developed as this. We can change to Google Hangout or Facebook Rooms or Zoom. There's hundreds of different things we could do. I am using what the world says is most popular because I know you don't have as much experience as me. So if you don't know about Google Rooms, you're going to be confused. If you don't know about Facebook Rooms, it's going to be confusing. You are most aware of this Zoom details. That's why I'm using it. Doesn't mean it's the best. It means it's the most efficient to get everybody in our 30 group working together. You're welcome to change details when you present so other people try the other thing. Does that answer your question, Changhyun?
Yes, Professor.
What about Jihyun? Do you have any questions? Dong-Young, do you have any questions? Jae-Kyung? Yoon-So, any kids in your Yuchiwan have questions for us? The background of you, Kim Yoon-So, looks like you're working in a Yuchiwan. Is there anything now that we're finished class? Can I help you with your Yuchiwan? Or Jihyun, any questions, comments?
I don't have any questions.
How can Song Jihyun? So far today, every time I asked you a question, you're saying, no, I don't have any question. or your answer is one word. How can I motivate you to talk 500 words next class?
Well, I think that depends on me. Okay.
What could I do to make you want to talk a lot more?
Call upon me.
About anything, hopefully related to the class project. Do you want me to get you Starbucks coffee? Are you falling asleep? Do you need a drink? Stop by my office earlier and I'll get you a coffee. Maybe that's Sung Junsa. You were the student I saw yawning in class about 30 minutes ago. You were going, ugh. Maybe I need to buy you a coffee in class?
No.
Stop by my office before class. Moon Taekyun, you are usually talking and helping the class the most. Anytime, I can definitely give you coffee. After class, I'll add coffee plus whiskey.
That's lovely, sir.
You guys know Jung, Yoon Jung, do you know what an Irish coffee is? Are you looking at something else and not looking at our screen with the class talking? Jung, Yoon Jung, I see you.
It's me?
Yeah, Jung, Yoon Jung.
Yes.
Do you know what is an Irish coffee?
I can hear it. You're speaking. Sorry, one more time. Yes.
You know, this is a coffee, right?
Yes.
But it's boring coffee. It's expensive coffee. I think it's kind of a shitty coffee. My favorite coffee is coffee that's called Irish coffee. I am Canadian, but I'm Irish Canadian. Do you know what is Irish coffee?
Oh, I don't know. What is it?
You have to learn. Maybe Moon Taekyun knows.
What is it?
Mr. Moon?
Yes, sir.
What is Irish coffee?
Put in the whiskey in the coffee.
Yeah. You take the whiskey bottle, the coffee, you mix them together. That is Irish coffee. Yes.
It's like a kind of Jägerbomb, isn't it? Caffeine plus alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Caffeine with alcohol. Right. Jägerbomb, almost the same thing. My daughter likes Jägerbombs. I prefer
Me too. I like a Jägerbomb.
Coffee with Irish whiskey. That's a little bit more stuff. But of course, I don't drink that during class time, only after classes.
So I saw you drinking wine before.
That's because you called me on like Saturday night and Sunday night and stuff. Of course, I'm going to be drinking then. Changhyun,
yeah.
Why don't other students have a Zoom session talking about your projects on a Saturday night or a Sunday night or afternoon? I'll definitely drink then. If anybody wants help, how to do your term project, how to do internship with a company, how to get a job in a company, how to get paid to do classwork, how to get a scholarship, how to publish your papers. That's not the main thing I teach in class, but I know it's very valuable for you. So if you want, we can have an extra class. I already gave 2 extra makeup classes. Many of you didn't come to the makeup classes, but I will make another one Saturday night, Sunday. I'll show up in t-shirts and jeans or shorts and whiskey bottles. You guys do know class is finished. Oops, I'm getting off topic. So I'm going to stop the recording. I just stopped